This video, I'm going to share with you the items that I am planning on taking back to the store for a full refund. But I wanted to also do this video to, first off, some of these items I know I've never talked about on this channel, so I thought it might be able to assist you if you were thinking about picking those up. I want to start off with Fenty Beauty first. The Freestyle Cream Bronzer, and I also have the Cream Blush, so one of each. Due to the lack of reviews, swatches, very much similar to my skin tone, I was going by the photos of the models on the website and on Sephora to kind of narrow down the colors. But as I'm reading the description on Sephora's website, it is explaining that it is a, foolproof cream formula that you can use also to bronze, but you can use it as a soft contour. So I'm looking at the two darkest shades. I have my phone here to look. The darker shade in between the darkest. So we have chocolate, which is for deep skin tones, and then toffee teas, very deep skin tones and a deep contour. I knew I wasn't going to get toffee teas. And then chocolate looks very much like my espresso contour stick as far as the shade. Then I looked at Teddy. I look at the models that is wearing the Teddy, and I can see that contrast on their skin, and it also looks a lot more like it's going to run towards the olive tone. So that's the shade that I chose, was Teddy. I said to myself, I'm probably going to get it wrong, I don't know, but I did choose Teddy. So this is what Teddy looks like. Unfortunately, when this arrived, so just brand new, opened it up, it had that moisture, like the moisture bubbles, the oils on top of the product, so it has all little holes on it. And then when I decided to swatch it, I could see sections where there are like very small fiber hairs, like black fiber hairs. There was first a black speck, and then once I started to, play around and smooth it out, I can see it. So I do see the fibers still inside of this product. Not a lot, but I'm thinking within the entire pan, it's the inside the mixture. That's why Sephora is sending me out a replacement for both products, because it was the same with the cream blush. The moisture oils was on there, but as far as actual fiber hairs, they're so small. But I feel that it's a lot more apparent. It is definitely a lot more apparent in the blush. Teddy, on my skin tone, I am warm golden olive. This appears a lot more of the contrast is subtle on me. I can build it up, but even when I am building it up, the most that I am seeing on my cheeks is, I would just see this color maybe creeping more into like this darker tone. I hope that makes sense. It's as if I mixed this with that and then kind of got that shade. So I would say by the third time, I'm not putting on any more than that. Stop right there, blend it out. But up close, when I'm looking in the magnifying mirror, that gold tone, that gold, I can see it, especially on my temples, and then the high point of my cheekbone, it's just like right there. Also, what is very unusual about this bronzer, very unusual, is the effect that it leaves behind. It leaves a dewy look on the skin. And at first I was like, well, maybe it's just me because I have all my other dew products. A bronzer that's leaving a dewy effect. And then I went to the Sephora site, read the reviews, and other people are leaving reviews saying the bronzer looks dewy on the skin. So that's why it's kind of catching me right there. I'm going teeter-tottering back and forth because I love me a dew look. So I don't think it's marketed as a dewy bronzer, but that is the effect that it's leaving on my skin. So I do like that dew effect. Now, I have the bronzer down. Then what I do is I apply the cream blush on top of that. I thought I would get the most use out of this shade here, Róse Latte. This is something I knew I would wear like on that everyday color, and it would complement my skin tone the best. So I do like this one. Now, this completely surprised me only by the fact of the size. This looks like the size of like the mini highlighters. I just expected it to be like something like the bronzer, or maybe perhaps a little bit smaller. So I mean, I was just shocked about that. But you know, it is what it is. It's a very small looking bronzer. Excuse me, blush. Same type of a formula like the bronzer. It moves and it sets in that, you know, direction. It's a very easy, very comfortable formula to work with. So I feel that they did a good job on that. Now the effect is very much the same as the bronzer. It's giving me that dewy blush look. So again, I'm not sure if that was their intent, but that is something, that effect is left behind. So I do like the shade Róse Latte. I wasn't going to be picking out any other color. Last thing that I did is with the powder bronzer from Fenty. So I have Mocha Mommy. That's what I have. I actually apply that with just a regular bronzer brush. Actually today I used this one because it's like medium size. I lightly went into this color, not a lot. I'm not looking for a strong tone. And after I had the bronzer and the blush on, I lightly just kind of dust over it, go over where I'm applying the bronzer, and just adding a little bit more of that depth into my skin. When I add this color to these two, it's now I'm fine. When I add this on, I just feel it just kind of amplifies it a little bit more. So I do like it with Fenty's matching bronzer. So just a tip, you don't have to do it that way. It's just what I wanted to see out of it. The last one I wanted to share with you is from Kosas. So this is my cheek highlight palette. I have it in the shade Helios. So this one is what I was comparing against Fenty's and Fuego Flush, the one that everybody seemed to be going crazy over. It's soft tangerine with shimmer. But the Helios shade here has the highlighter, and then it has that melon tone as well. Not as strong as a tangerine shade as the Fenty. This one leans more towards that orange tone, more of that warmth of orange. Melon, just beautiful. Doesn't have shimmer in it because it is just opaque, but you can add in the highlighter with it. Just mix it in if you wanted to add a little bit more of that shimmer like Fuego would have. I prefer theirs, this brand's cream, over Fenty's. It's just, it is what it is. This is just, it's like there's no words. The way it looks on the skin, the way it blends, I would buy these compacts over the Fenty. I said it. So really do like this. I want to play more with the Fenty's to really kind of make that decision. But if the replacements come today, and let's say they look exactly the same, and they got the little black hairs in them, I think that alone is just going to get to me. I'll just return it. Next set of items I will be taking back is from Profusion. I do have their festival collection here. This is the set of the eyeshadow palettes, and then I do have their liquid liners. So I have all of these electric colors, the neons here. This is very affordable. Each palette over at Walmart, same thing with the eyeliners, the liquid liners. And I thought it would be wonderful to play around with the colors, the brights. I do have, you know, the bigger size Profusion palettes, and I don't have a problem with their formula. But sadly, this formula is just not the same. So the one that I was playing around the most with is, I was starting off with the yellow. And first off, I don't really judge a palette or the formula based on how powdery the powder is. You know, that doesn't bother me. To me, it's of course, how is it going to blend on the eye? How is strong a pigment is it going to be? And these tones are just not showing up the best on my skin tone. They're extremely dull. Extremely dull. And it doesn't matter if I'm using a bright white, I could have sworn I just got a whiff of something from the powder. Oh yeah, it even has a stronger smell now. Okay, I don't like that. What was I saying? Oh, the primer that I would use. Usually for my skin tone, I would get a much more stronger white or like a very pale color. The smell. Sorry about that. Primer for my eye to apply this particular color, and it's just not, it's still not producing the tone that I want to see. And I need to stop smelling this because it might make me pass out. And the shimmers here, or if this is supposed to be like a foiled color as well, it's not producing. They're flaky. When did I buy this? The beginning of April. So why does this have a smell to it? Let's take a little whiff of the orange. I don't think I smell anything with the orange. Oh yeah, I do. The blue has that stronger high octane, I like to say, smell. No, those are going back. Now the liners, the liquid liners, I have used all of the shades. The issue with this is very flaky. They first go on, they start to try to get, you know, nice and opaque, and then they just fall off. You shake it up, I shake it up first, and then it just, again, it just, if these palettes make me want, I'm about to faint. Pardon moi. Water break, hold on. This isn't scripted. This is a real thing, people. Whew. This item is from J.Cat. Now this is the Aquasurance Compact Foundation, and the shade I have is in Honey. I knew the shade Honey would be my fit. I tried that out at actually a makeup show. I went to the J.Cat booth, and that's how I knew what shade to pick. So that's the Honey shade right there. I didn't even take the plastic off the mirror because I only used it once, and this is why it's going back. This tone, Honey, on me, I thought it would be offering a lot more of a warmer tone to my skin, but this leaves off a grayish, neutral, well, not even going towards neutral, it's more cool tone on me. So very different than what it's supposed to be called. If you're thinking honey, you're thinking warm, you're thinking, well, honey, right? And sadly on my skin, it's pulling a lot more cool tone on me. I would go out in the direct sunlight and I can see the gray underneath my eyes and in various sections. I did not take a photo or video the times that I went out in the sun because I wasn't expecting to make a type of a video. I was just like, oh, it's not going to work. I'm going to take it back. So just take my word for it, please. That just it's not going to work. Now the next palette I have not tried. So this is, you know, it's new. This is the Essence Pure Nude Sunlighter palette here. This is in the shade, actually I think there's 2 shades already. So depending on which one you pick up, like Sunlighter is the darkest one. I think there's another one for fairer skin tones. Now I should have thought of this before I walked out the store, because this I got the last day that Ulta shut down for the for health reasons. But really, if I paid attention to this compact, the shades, I would have known that I already have it. I get home and I'm like, this looks so much like my Ulta Beauty 3D Bronze palette. I've tried the Pure Nude before, so I know how smooth it is on the skin and how, you know, just melts into the skin. But I use the Huda, and I'm being good, and I want to keep what I already have in my collection and use it up. So, God, this is so good. How many times have I recommended this? So good. This next item I talked about already in my Ulta update haul, the Route, the Girlfriend Skin Loving Glow Primer. So I'm not going to go too much in detail about this, but this is going back because during Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, it is not a glowing primer like it is marketed as. There's just really no effect on the skin at all. So, and I have other glowing products that will give me a lot stronger of that glow dew appearance. So check that video out if you're interested in to hear a lot more in detail, but this for sure is going back when Ulta reopens. Next is e.l.f. Jelly Pop Watermelon Jelly Cleanser. I got this out of recommendations from a couple of videos that I was watching that was in their favorites. And I'm like, okay, well, I like the Jelly Pop, the lip gloss. I like the primer that I have, so maybe the cleanser would work. This is for somebody with, I would say, dry skin, like very dry skin. You like to take your makeup off or wash your face with something that's more of a cream. Although I thought that this would foam a little bit. And you want that moisture left behind. This felt like there's a film on my face, and I felt like I had to wash my face a lot more. So just I'm not satisfied with that. So this is going to go back to. And the next item is I need a color exchange. So this is from Sephora. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Water Foundation, SPF 15 sunscreen. I chose Deep Sand because I remember I had a sample of Deep Sand and I think I finished it up. I couldn't find the sample anymore. And I wear Deep in the Shape Tape. And then I know I have the stick foundations, and I mix honey and I mix sand together to get my perfect shade. So I thought Deep Sand would work for me. I don't know why. It just is slightly off. And they have a new shade of Deep Golden. So I'm going to exchange it and get Deep Golden, which according to the description, that probably would work the best for me since I am golden undertone. I also noticed that this foundation is a top seller in the Middle East, where it is just like triple digits of heat. You're out in the desert, and the women love that foundation, and it holds up in those hot, humid conditions. So that's another reason too. I definitely want to make sure I get the foundation. The last item is the brush set from Morphe James Charles. This is the eye brush set. It's a 13-piece brush collection. So this was in an email. They had certain Morphe items that were half off on that particular, might have been a few days. And I was already looking at the brushes. There's a little James face right there. I was already looking at the brushes when they first came out. And I was interested in the nose brush that's in here. And a lot of the other brushes, oh, it comes with its case too and his signature on it. A lot of the other brushes, I already used some of them. It's good to have a couple of them because I already use them on a daily basis. What got me to be like, okay, this has to go back to Ulta. It's washing it. I wash my brushes first before I use them, so just wash them. Got ready to use them next day. I know how to wash my brushes. I'm not hard on them or anything. I know how to kind of spread it out so that way they can dry. But the natural hairs already, with one wash, it already looks like it's falling apart. They're not shaped back to the way that they are. The hairs are coming out. I didn't even use these brushes. I did not use these. All I did was wash them. The quality of this natural hair is not the same as if I just had ordered, a standard one, whether from the store or I would say even picking it up at Ulta directly, because even the Morphe standalone white hair brushes that I picked up at at Ulta, they don't look like this when I wash it. So these brushes, there's something different about them. They're just not up to the quality. So even at the full price, absolutely not. But even at the discounted price, no. These are going back for the sole reason that they tore apart. And I will just buy that nose brush on its own. But the concept is a good thing to get all these brushes in its own carrying case too, at the discounted price, of course. That's why I chose it. That's it. Just want to share with you the items I'm taking back, give you those little mini reviews, and let me know your thoughts. What do you think about what I talked about? You have it? Same experience as me? Let's talk. Leave it down in the comment. Thank you everyone for stopping by and watching. As always, I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, and as always, I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye.